The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield Network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield post-game show. The only place, the original place, the place that tells you how it is, or we just get the vibe of the game and flow with it as we're at the games, we're having fun. It's for the fans, this network, by the fans, and by the fans, for the fans. As we have a great time with you talking Angels baseball, win or lose, always on the post-game. Always here interacting with you, the viewer or the listener, on podcast form too. And if you haven't, go to our podcast and check that out. We have plenty of shows to go through, and obviously minor league reports. But the big news of the day, big news of right now, the Angels win, baby. And what happens when they win? Hey, look, the Angels won. We didn't get to play that song very many times last year, only 63 times. So far, we're up to 15 this year. 15 and 20 are your Angels, 5 games under 500. But, hey, a win's a win's a win's a win. And they won tonight in dramatic fashion. Now, this was, again, just like last night. It felt scripted. It felt like Toronto was going to win 3-2. We all know what happened last night. So what the hell happened tonight? Tonight! You had a starting performance out there of Kikuchi and Berrios out there. Berrios usually traditionally does pretty decent against the Angels. And you were figuring that it was going to be a low-scoring game, and you were right. If you betted the under on this one, that's for damn sure. Kikuchi came in and finished actually with his ERA sitting around 3.83, which isn't bad, but he gets another no decision. So does Berrios, and we'll get into why that happened. But both pitchers gave each team, their own professional team, all the time in the world to score some runs, and kept them in it by throwing a quality start. Both pitchers went 6 innings, both allowed 5 hits. Berrios allowed 2 runs. Both earned 5 walks, though. That was his only setback. 9 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. Kikuchi only allowed the 1 run on 6 strikeouts. And again, very encouraging if you are a Kikuchi fan or just a Kikuchi fan in general, is he only allowed 1 walk. And he threw 91 pitches. And we're going to talk about what the hell happened out there, because there is someone to blame. And I'm pretty sure you guys are, tired of this person ruining it.
My lips, you're ruining it. Ruining
it. And Lombardi had to say, so let's go with how the game started. The game started rather, innocent for the Blue Jays. They went out of the inning, without scoring a run in the first inning, and the Angels had their opportunity. In the bottom of the first, you had Neto get on with I believe a walk right there. So he leads off the game with a walk, and then Shauna Wells singles him to third, and you're thinking, great, first and third. But one problem. And his name is Taylor Ward. Yes, Taylor Ward, that Taylor Ward. He came up to bat, and all that talk yesterday that Gooby was like, hey, there was a lot of 76ers, 66ers, 56ers all pitching to Taylor Ward, and he got in a lot of at-bats. That's why he looks so good tonight. Yeah. Hey, tomorrow is the throwback City Connect, and then we're going to have the pullover fleece. So the zipper fleece, whatever. So anyway, Zach Neto gets on, Shonawell moves them over. You're thinking, okay, we're cooking here. But then you remember right away, wait, we're the Angels. We don't score when we're given opportunities like that. So this entire time, you're sitting there and you're saying, man, when are we going to get table setters, right? And they finally get table setters to set things up for your solid hitting, right? But what happens is Taylor Ward strikes out. Big shocker. Soler strikes out, and there's 2 men out in the first inning. Then for some reason, Shonawell decides to run when O'Hoppe's up at bat. So you're not trying to take away the double play depth. Now, I would say if the ball maybe trickles away from the catcher, Kirk, a few steps, yeah, you take off, you try to take second, get a throw over there. Maybe Neto steals home, something like that, right? No, Shonawell gets thrown out by a goddamn mile, and he's not even resting on the bag to try to make it close. And so that ended that inning. It seemed to just take the air out of whatever, wind that the Angels were getting out of their cells, and they just went flat. And Toronto was messing around here and there, but Kikuchi was shutting them down. The Angels put a couple men on, but didn't do anything. Nothing too crazy or earth-shattering. And then in the 6th inning, Toronto got 1 run and made it 1-0 on a single up the middle. And you're thinking, crap, dude, or, Guerrero scoring, it's 1-0. But then Makata came up. And Makata, after his fresh home run last night, proceeded to tie the game. And, the Halo honks were happy over there, especially other crappy podcasts were all. Yeah, so it was quickly 1-1, but no, the Angels can't have nothing nice. Here's where it gets disturbing. Now, we've already seen this same song and dance a couple of times. We've known from innings, whatever, if he had to come in the 3rd inning, 7th or 8th inning, 9th inning when the game was out of reach or in hand, Reed Detmers comes up there and does a rather good job. I have yet to see him come through in a clutch situation because he's not a reliever. We didn't draft him as a reliever. We didn't sign him as a reliever. We didn't scout him as a reliever. We didn't say you're our left-handed specialist, but Ron Washington and maybe Barry Enright are like, hey, left-handed specialist. I thought that was Burke's job. So they put him in. So try, fool me once, shake my head. Fool me twice, that's on me. You know what I mean? Like, shame on me, shame on you, whatever. The whole thing is, why the hell do you do that again? I butchered that. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on me. Or fool me twice, shame on me. One of these times I'm going to get it right. Either way, look, the whole thing is, you already saw this. He's not good in whatever, situation. Dude had like a 2-something ERA in low pressure situations. You're trying to work his confidence back up. You're not trying to get the deer in the headlights, Reed Detmers, to kill his confidence, right? He's had 2 horrible, amazingly bad performances. Bring him in when we're winning, or bring him in if it was 4-1, bring him in then. But they brings him in again in a fresh inning and a tie ball game. Stupid move again, Ron Washington. He proceeds to get nobody out. Detmers gives up 3 hits and 3 runs. His ERA is now 10, and that's on 9 pitches. 9 pitches. So it's not like he went in there and he labored and he threw like 33 pitches and you have to pull him. No, he just allowed 3 consecutive hits. Zephyr John had to come in there and he allowed a couple hits, but got a couple strikeouts to minimize the damage. So after Straw had singled, yes, that's Straw, not the one you stir your drink with. Clement scored. Jimenez scored with the bases, or to second. I'm sorry, it was 2-1. Then with the bases loaded, Bichette singled to left, 4-1, and you're like, well, that's a wrap. That's Angels baseball for you. You can only get 1 solo homer, and that's it, right? Game over, bend over. 4-1, right? Final score. And they were already racking up 11 hits at that time. You're thinking game over. But then Kyron Paris came up in the left center field in the 7th, or in the bottom of the 7th, to respond with yet another solo shot to make it 4-2. And the Halo honks were like 2 more of those and we're tied. But fortunately for us and the Angels, they didn't take that into consideration. No, we went to the 9th inning and it looked hopeless. It was 4-2. The bullpen came in and Hoffman's been pretty solid for them so far. He hadn't blown a save yet, but he sure did tonight. And he came in there and blew it on 14 pitches only. Yes, 14 pitches as the Angels got a nice leadoff walk from Kyron Paris. Then you got Shonawell with a hit. And then, Neto got on. Shonawell, bases juiced. Taylor Ward, whatever the hell his name is. Taylor Ward comes up, batting a robust 180 now, strikes out for the 3rd time. And looking, this we'll go over him at some point, but he gets the hat trick on strikeouts. He wasn't the only one. Ohapi was going to be next. He had 3 strikeouts. So you're already thinking this game started getting buttercupped in that 1st inning. Could it be round 2? Could this be like water torture again? Could this be, okay, we just got our hopes up. We were honking our honks or ready to honk our honks. Like we were squeezing it. We were using the Diddy baby oil. We were ready. We were pumped, literally. We were ready to shoot off in the 1st inning, but no. We got cock blocked by the strikeout and Shonawell's terrible base running. But then it's like the baseball god said, you know what? Soler's been pretty bad lately. We're going to let him come through right here. And to top it off, the guy who was the bad goat, not the good goat as the kids say today, Shonawell, one of the slowest, worst base runners on the team, he'll give you the win. And guess what? It happened. Almost a carbon copy of the Giants game 2 weeks ago, but this time insert Soler and not Adele. And freaking Soler comes through with a big bases clearing double in front of 11,000 fans at the stadium. Goes down the line, trickles down there, trouble to get the ball. 3rd baseman couldn't get it. Here comes all the runners. And again, one of the most exciting baseball plays in all of baseball is the outfielder gets the ball, tries to get it to the cutoff man. The cutoff man's got to make a perfect strike. Will he score? And of course he scored. And everyone let out with a huge sigh of relief. No extra innings, but a huge win. So the Angels get a big walk-off win, and it's much needed. Again, they're 15-20, 8-7 at home. The Blue Jays are scuffling at 16-20, 5-12 on the road. But through the lineup again, we'll look at it. Neto went 1 for 3. Shonawell went 2 for 3 and 2 walks, and it was important. Guys and gals, I'll tell you this. For the Angels to have any success, whether you think they're going to win 65 games, 72 games, 69 games, 81 like myself, which I did think at one point, but this offense has to get way better. A way of doing that is giving yourself opportunities, giving yourself chances, and putting the ball in play. So not only do you have to put the bat on the ball, you also have to have people on base. And I know they're not going to do this every night, but if you can get at least 3 walks per game, you are greatly enhancing your chances for a blunder on the defensive side by an error, or a pass ball to get the runner in scoring position, or get the runner home if he's at third already, sacrifice him over, stuff like that. That can help teams, get more. It changes the defense and puts more pressure on the opposing pitcher. And the fact that they had 6 walks tonight, they still managed to strike out 14 times. 14 times! That ties for most this season. 14 times. Last year, I think they struck out 18 was the record. But this year, 14 times, or this game, 14 times, but they had 6 walks. And if you can work walks, it gives yourself and extends innings, gives yourself more opportunities. So I encourage more walks, please. For the love of God, just try to get on base and work walks. Our on-base percentage is in the trash because we're not walking, but tonight it paid off. Enough base runners, and maybe like a guy like, Little gets out of it. Rodriguez gets out of it for Toronto, basically giving up nothing in almost 2 innings. And then you just get Hoffman at the right time. And that's how baseball can be sometimes. The bullpen was very shaky, obviously, for the Angels. Zephyr John, with the 2 hits given up, he allowed, technically 2 of the runs on the single. Brogdon came in. It could have been messy with him. He got out of it. And then you had Burke in there for a solid inning. But he did allow a walk. So you had base runners on just about every inning for the Blue Jays. So it wasn't a clean game. It looked clean with all zeros, but in the end, the only stat that I care about is the Angels have more runs than the other team. Sometimes, I'll sit there and I'll say a win's a win, and I don't care how they got there. If they strike out 14 times or 4 times, I'll take it. Yeah, I think over a stretch, you don't want to keep those trends going, not StatCast crap. You don't want the trends going, and I don't want to continue the what is it called? This terrible, hitting approach and getting this many strikeouts. Encourage more walks, encourage more, going the other way, small ball. It will help a team that's trying to find its identity, because listen, this team has no identity, no idea and identity. Like in the comments over there on TikTok, they're saying about, Mike Trout's the big thing, and whenever you hear about the Angels, it's always Mike Trout, how long he's hurt. No timetable for that. No timetable for Ben Joyce. We barely got Mancada back, and we didn't even know he was going to come back. It was sort of just a thing that was, announced quietly. Hey, Mancada's back. Hey. So, look, you got to take the win tonight. There was something I want to share with you real quick. James, our boy James Malou, he messaged me a tweet from Jeff Fletcher, or an X, whatever the hell you want to call it. He says Washington confirmed that he pulled Renifo because he lost track of outs. So Renifo's not the sharpest tool in the shed as far as intelligence. I do like him as a player. I do think he has a great arm at third base. I think he's always often hurt, like right when he gets good over the last few years, 3 years especially, he'll get on a streak and then he automatically gets hurt. He hasn't gotten on a streak this year, and he's played the most that I've seen him play consistently, I think, his entire career. And that's not saying much. In 35 games, I haven't seen him play a full stretch like this without hitting the IL or having to be removed from a game. And I thought, dude, batting 210 right now, I thought Renifo, if he's this healthy, would probably be batting somewhere around 270. And, I don't care about his power numbers. I love the way he slaps the ball, but he has not been getting many hits. The Angels finished 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. The Blue Jays finished 5 for 13. Angels had their opportunities a ton in this game because of those walks to get the lead or to grow the lead, but they could not do it. Getting a win tonight, huge. And, because they win, let's get into the John Stamos Award. And the John Stamos Award brought to you part by 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets is a place you can go. By the way, if you guys want Angels tickets, I will be giving those away here pretty soon. I have 8 tickets for tomorrow night's game. So actually 10. I have 10 tickets, and I'm not going to give all 10 to one person. So we'll come up with something, and, whether I have to give out my email again and you guys can just email a request, maybe we play trivia. I don't know, but stay tuned for that. I got tickets for tomorrow. If you don't want to go to the game for free and not pay Artie, I got tickets for you. So stay tuned for the Blue Jays game tomorrow. I will send those right over to you, because maybe all you got to do, if we're just doing an email thing, just send me your email and I will just ballpark them right back over to you. So with that being said, 714 Tickets, I mean, why would you go anywhere else? If you're not getting free tickets from me, go to 714 Tickets. And it's not just the Angels. You want to watch playoff basketball. Oh, wait, there's no more playoff basketball here locally. But if you want to travel, if you want to go see hockey playoff, and there's none here local either. But if you want to travel, anywhere you want to go, concerts, it doesn't matter. 714 Tickets, just put in the code, in the promo code HITI, get 10% off, and you just get it whatever you want as far as ticket prices. It says $38. It's going to be $38. It's not going to be like Ticketmaster and he says, oh, $38 for that ticket. Well, guess what? It's $65 now with a service fee and taxes. No, none of that BS. It's straight up the price you see is the price you get plus an additional 10% off. And because of that, they sponsor us with our Golden Stamos. The John Stamos Golden Stamos. I mean, how could you not give it to Soler? I mean, honorable mention would be Kikuchi. Kikuchi pitched his ass off and again kept you in the game. Still searching for that one win. Hasn't gotten it as we're into May now. No wins for Kikuchi, but hey, Soler will take it as much as we can. 2 big hits tonight, including the bases clearing double. Could have been a triple to win the game as the Angels win 5-4 in 9. Now we get to the Nacho Night player of the game, or at least the worst player of the game, presented to you by Bruheim, where this Saturday, if you're not reading the scrolling thing, between 2 and 5 p.m., we will have a tailgate at Bruheim before the game with the Baltimore Orioles on Saturday. You can come down there and play some cornhole with us, win some prizes, get some beer on us, and man, check out the spot. There's a lot of good food there too, and just hang out and talk some baseball. So that's what we do here. We are more than an interactive podcast. We are there with you at the games and at the tailgates and whatever else fun we decide to do, including a softball game. So if you're interested, keep that in mind for June and July. I'm still trying to nail down the date, but we are going to be playing some podcast softball for a good cause. So here's the Nacho Night Award.
Nacho Night, oh yeah, Nacho Night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Molded cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
You know, I'm tired of giving this award to an Angel, even though I'm really not liking Taylor Ward. He deserved it tonight with 3 strikeouts, and you could throw a Hoppy in the award too. However, it's always good to give it to the opponent, as they had one of the worst players on the field, and that would be George Springer, who ironically is one of their hottest hitters at 304 average despite his 0 for 4 tonight. He's still batting over 300. He K'd 3 times. The hat trick. The hat trick always puts you in the running for Nacho Night, and he had the hat trick with 3 strikeouts tonight. He was no protection for Santander and no protection in front of Kirk. So there you go. One other thing, though, let me ask you guys and gals a question. Have you ever wanted to meet Zach Neto, a.k.a. Big Papa? Well, this Saturday, I know I just told you about the tailgate from 2 to 5, but if you're in the Buena Park area, you can actually see this guy.
For me, and I'm feeling good.
That would be Zach Neto if you couldn't read. Zach Neto right there is going to be presented to you by OC Dugout and Halos in the Infield at Rockin' Brews, which is right across the street from the Portals. That's going to be from 10 in the morning to 11:30 in the afternoon. And obviously we'll be down there a couple hours later down at Bruheim. But before Bruheim, at Rockin' Brews, you get to see Zach Neto. And for a nice price, which isn't bad at all, you can get autographs. You can purchase things there by the OC Dugout, or you can bring your little Zach Neto card, as I have right here. There's a nice one right there. I don't know if you can see it because of glare, whatever. But that's Zach Neto right there in his nice jersey. I'm going to get that autographed. There's all kinds of stuff you can get autographed, and come down there, take your picture, have your kids take a picture with Neto, which is the future. If he's not already the future, he's the now. And that is Zach Neto. He's our shortstop for some time to come. So if you want to come down, just tell them HITI, Halos in the Infield sent you, and they might give you a little something extra. But you can meet Zach Neto. I mean, you can make it an Angels day. Zach Neto in the morning, get yourself some Portals after you get an autograph. Come to Bruheim, get a little drunk with us, have some good food down there. I think it's going to be like barbecue. And then talk with us, hang with us, win some stuff, and then go into the stadium and watch us beat the hell out of the Orioles. So there you go. it should be a fun Saturday. So mark your calendars and stay tuned for the ticket giveaway too. I have some tickets to burn. And if you guys and gals want to go to the game. So let's hit into the comments, shall we? Because we've got a hell of a lot of comments coming up in here. So let's get to them right away. We got some starred ones too, because again, if you guys and gals are contributing some of those super stickers, we are going to be very generous at the end of the month, giving away some shirts and giving away some other stuff to the fans that have been pretty much doing a really good job helping us out, because we wouldn't be here without you guys, because we are not silver spoon like some of the shitheads that I know. And I'm not going to name names. Joshua Holdman says, keep up the good work. Sends a super sticker. LV says, Todd, keep up the great work. Appreciate it. Tyler says, Hakuna Makata. Also, Tony C hit up with $5 right there. He says, Angels need 7 out of 8. Let's go, Angels. Booba Bear's mommy, she says, I'm not impressed due to the fact that the bases were loaded with 1 out and got nothing, especially Ward. She's mad at that first inning. And then she follows it up with another super sticker. So we appreciate that. I'll be reading some of the comments over there also on TikTok. He says, where did you get that hat? I actually got it at the Angels store. I think it's in that downtown area where, what's that called? It's not the Promenade. I forget what that area is. Where is it? The Damon Busters in Anaheim. There's like a hat store right there. I think it's Lids. I got it from right there. So let's get into the comments, shall we? Because we got a lot of them to catch up on a win tonight. Rally Chris says, come back, walk off again. It's freaking Spritz o'clock, baby. Let's listen to the man play the sax.
Spritz o'clock. Angels play, win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Now, one more thing I'm going to play right now is LV wants to know, how about a yummy tasting nut?
On everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
No, that's what you get on his show, and I'm pretty sure most of us don't like a yummy tasting nut. Also, Rob says, damn, I turned it off the TV when Detmers entered the game. Yeah, Detmers has been absolutely ass. LV says, we're so back. Also, everybody relax. The fucking season starts tonight, baby. He's like, shut your mouth, baby. A winning streak's coming first.
All right, you guys, let's listen up. We won a game yesterday. If we win one today, that's 2 in a row. We win one tomorrow, that's called a winning streak.
Damn right. We got to win that one
We
tomorrow.
got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Thanks, Roger. Also, I turned the TV off when Ward struck out, Sny Guy says. I think a lot of us did. Joshua says, Spritz o'clock, baby. Leaf says, so I see the Toronto Maple Leafs transferred to the 4-1 chokes the Blue Jays. That's coming from a Seattle fan up there. He's checking in on and trolling the Toronto Blue Jays. Useless Trucker says, we're so back. Mike Trout's loving the Stukas right there. Dan says, hey, we won unbuttercupped. 2-0 without me right there, Trout says. Joe says, Spritz o'clock. Shop Girl checks in with Stukas, please. Everyone, Detmers pitches is nerve-wracking. Randy says, Angels win a series. What the hell is going on out there?
What the hell's going on out here?
Exactly. Sebastian says, let's fucking go. Walk off. Light that baby up, baby. And also, Sny Guy says, we're so back. About to give up 13 runs tomorrow. Yoshi Gamer is trolling Dodgers back-to-back champions. I think for the first time, Yoshi, like last year, I was obsessed because our girlfriend Otani went over there and traded places with the worst person in the world, and we were just like, damn it. But this year, I'm like, you know what? Stay away from me. I don't want to talk Doyers. Let's see. Also, you got Mike Trout saying you win one tomorrow. That's called a winning streak. Kylo checks in with Ward and Adele still suck. Also, Useless Trucker says, off you grew up in the 80s. Big 20 says, I have been dealing with a lot of stuff lately, but light that baby up. Oh, I'm sure he's going to give us a little check-in right there. The Angels grandma says, what a win. Love my Angels. Big 20 says that's why he hasn't been on. LB says, so is it safe to start honking again? Not quite. I say if we finish the rest of these 4 games, maybe going 4-1 actually going 3-1, or maybe even if we split the next 4 and we finish up 4-6 I'm sorry, 4-2 against the Orioles and Blue Jays. I wouldn't, or actually that'd be 3-3. I'm sorry, man, my math is terrible right now. No, if we were to go, like I said, 2-2, yeah, that would be 4-2. Jesus Christ. So we go 4-2 to finish up these 6 games against these 2 teams. I'm beginning to honk just a little. But I still got to wait to see what we do back on the road. Albert says, I am a Fox. My name is Todd. Also, we're so back. Give me 5 honks, Joe says. So he wants more honks. There you go. One more. That's a lot of honking. You got to be very chafed at this point. Jesus says, yeah, it's the Artie whiskey tonight. Shit face Ric Flair. Woo! He's all into it. There you go. That was Roger and freaking Artie. Joe says, we getting Mickey D. Fries 2 days in a row. Luke Johnson says, Taylor Ward still sucks. Woo says, please drop Ward down to 6th or 8th. That's what we're talking about. Bloom over there on TikTok says, we back. Also, Artie was halfway asleep through the 3rd inning. Dan Rio says, is Big 20 transitioning? Oh, jeez. Also, we needed that so much. Yohan is heating up, and Soler came through in the clutch. Rally Chris says 2-0 since Moncada came back. Todd Moncada is what we're missing. I don't know, man. I got to pump your brakes. I need to see him hit the ball a lot more. Luke Johnson says Angels running the master class and ruining former first-round picks. Also, cue up Lou Brown, Dan Rio says. Big 20 says, no, I got to – all right, we're getting into that stuff. He'll give us a update later. I freaking missed it. FanDuel, cue it, because, again, even if you missed it, you'll see the replay for 2 weeks after a walk-off. All right. Let's see. Also, let's get back to this. Tony C checks in with Ward and Reed. Needs to be off this team ASAP. Smash that like button and also keep up the good work. We promote Ward hitting 3rd and not cleanup. They still need to fire the hitting coaches at this point. I agree. Dan Rio says poor Detmers getting mismanaged again. Angels, Randy says, hardly ever show up, but should be the 86ers. Let's get the sweep tomorrow, Joshua says. Brian checks in with, of course they win when I decide to turn off the TV in the 9th inning. But you can put a halo over this one. Out of here. LV says Halos will sweep the Blue Jays. You can take that to the bank and deposit it. Valeria says the walk-off was crazy. Sny Guy says Ward is like the middle child that nobody gives a fuck about unless he does something like break something. That's well said. Dan says Wash just said Nolan forgot how many outs there were. He knew he screwed up. Boy, that's weird. If only there was somewhere in the stadium where you could look at and understand how many outs there are. I mean, it's not like there's 1, 2, 3, 6 different spots in the stadium where you could tell how many outs are. And it's not like the infielders will give you the hand signal how many outs there are. Don says Kikuchi has been solid. He's just been unlucky with the offense not giving him any run support. True to that. I want to hear the Blue Jays podcast. It should be pretty crazy about right now. Acuna Moncada right there. Demetrio says, go Angels. Kikuchi still winless with a whip of 1.46. Also, Tony C says, this was a frustrating game, but can we please wake up tomorrow morning with Reed and Taylor Ward out of here already? Also, you had Reed Detmers. Also, Balls, and Jorge Soler. Yes, he came through tonight.
And for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Jorge Soler. Jim says Reed Detmers is the reason Papa Fox doesn't go to Angel games. Yes. Also, James wants to start a chant saying, hey, we want Coochie. Also, I did not leave early. Jim stayed for the whole game. EQ, my man, sets in with Todd Soler, gets the walk-off. Shonawell gets cut off. Taylor Ward strikes out. Angels in 5, baby. Useless Trucker says, like and subscribe. This is the best Southern Californian podcast. Thank you so much, Butthead. Todd is cool. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate all the love right now we're getting because it's pretty cool doing this. I love doing this for the fans and doing it for Angels baseball, man. Yeah. Dumbo Ears is so lost to the plate. Thank goodness Soler saved our asses. Fire Washington. We won in spite of his stupidity. I'm honking right now. Baldwin doesn't care, man. He's like, I'm out in front of the family, in front of friends. He's ready to roll. Joshua says that, hey, at least we're not the Rockies. That is true. Also, Adele must be on Wash's good stuff right there. Jim says, how about Renifo? Mental air. Take a seat on the bench. Sellout crowd tonight of 13,000. Honk time botched investigation. Don says, hopefully, Soriano has another great start tomorrow and gives us a chance to make it 3 straight, baby. J-Dog says, Renifo not knowing how many outs there are. Classic Angels. Also, MLA says, it's time to talk Spanish, Todd. Ay, wey, no pinches mames, wey. A la pinche verga carbon. Did we actually win? No mames, way. So, hopefully I didn't kill that. Dickies were for the win. Hayes says, just got to Nobles, always using that free parking. What a fucking night. Sweet walk-off. Heady gang on top. And by the way, Hayes, you didn't email me last night. I had like 2 extra tickets, and I was saving for you since you said you had one or you needed one. So hopefully you didn't have to pay too much for your ticket. But, hey, I got 10 tonight. So you know what? I'm feeling very generous. So I will tell you this: first come, first serve. If you need 2, just take 2. If you need 3, just take 3. But don't take all 10 because I'm not going to give one person all 10. I'm trying to get at least 4 people or 4 groups to go for those 10 tickets. That would be really, really cool. So I will put the email in the comments, and instead of playing, because I didn't come prepared because of the game, for any kind of what is it called? Trivia. Like usually I like to do trivia and then give them away like that. But I'm just going to do is, hey, man, first come, first serve. And we'll take that right there. And you guys and gals can ask for the tickets. And if you want to go to the game, hopefully you can enjoy yourself like you did tonight. And you can come by with a sweep courtesy of Halos in the Infield. So there you go. I sent the email in the comments. Saucy says, wow, what a surprise. A win despite Detmers. J-Dog says all 10 people in the stadium enjoyed that walk-off. Saucy also says Renifo with a gold glove defense looking completely indifferent. Useless Trucker says 71 watching. Todd's numbers are going way up. Well, right now between I guess it's TikTok and we got X right now. We've got a total of 130 on, or 135. So we had what is it? The other night we had like 205, and the last time we had the walk-off, we had 300 and something. So we had a lot of people on, so that was pretty good. J-Dog says Detmers need to go now. Baldwin says 84 for me, 84 wins, or 82 wins. He says it could happen. Also 14 right there. 14 strikeouts. Hey, Kuna Makana Mother's Day brunch. Hey. Rally Chris says perfect fitting ending to the today. They had the celebration of life for my coworker who passed away a couple of weeks ago. A comeback win just for him. And you know what? Hearts and prayers go out to your friend right there. I know we talked about it the other day too. Rally Chris, it's tough to lose a friend. So thoughts and prayers, man. Tony C says Angels need to stop looking at too many third strikes. I respect Washington for taking out Renifo, forgetting how many outs there were that inning. Revamp the bullpen again. The Angels win 75 games at most. Tyler also says Halos are catching up to the Big 20 strikeout record. I don't know, man. He kind of had that one for a long time. Don Hammond says Taylor Ward has been absolutely ice cold. He is right now 4 for his last, I want to say 54. Hayes says, I knew the City Connects would come through. Also, Taylor Ward and Detmers, he can't stand them. Ricky says, we really appreciated the tickets tonight, Todd. You the man. I appreciate you, Ricky. I'm glad you got to go and have some fun tonight. Or also Mangada. Baldwin says, what is it? They are incognito. Bobby over there, Bobby Hill on X says, I know Nolan had a good game, but we need to get a true first baseman. We do. He's not that type of first baseman the Angels like, which they like the whole power hitting first baseman. J-Dog says, Roger Lodge is like, oh, what a win. We're so back. Honk that honk, everybody, with your honks out. Iron Giant says, we're so fucking back. Baldwin says the fugitive only thinks of his ex-wife, meaning Artie, I believe. Don Hammond says, good news is Bachman is now on a rehab assignment now in Inland Empire, so it shouldn't be too long before he's back. Wow. Bobby says, I want tickets. How do I win some? Let me just put that over there. Let's see. Hold on. And that's the thing too, man. We love the shout outs. So if you like our stuff, share our stuff. We really appreciate that, but it's straight to the email for right now. We're not going to, usually we do call-ins and stuff like that, but Bachman would be great to have back in the bullpen. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Randy's talking about that right now. Saucy says, good night for Shonawell at the plate. The steal attempt was not so good. Rally Chris also says Angels are now 10-4 with him on the active roster, Mancada meaning. Also, Baldwin says lacrosse playoffs. No lacrosse playoffs. Also, Bobby also says, I just want this team to be 500, and it would be great to get to 500 so that we can take the next step next year. Hoffman has been straight up master boning against us. He sure has. Craig says, did we do the Nacho Night yet? Yes, we did. Nacho Night went to our boy, everybody's favorite cheater, Corey or Springer. Yeah, George Springer. I'm sorry. I don't want to call him Corey. Also, Angels are one game behind the Rangers in the loss column. It's too early to be looking at that right now. Saucy says Kikuchi deserves a golden dong. Every Coochie does. Taylor Ward, Nacho Night. He was an honorable mention, Craig. He really was. Had they lost, yes. You say Kikuchi, I say Kikuchi. Welcome to the solar system. Let's see. Also, last prom for Big 20. Let's see. Balls in his mouth. Yes, he's loving that right there. JT says the Angels are undefeated against Canadian teams. We like that. Baldwin says F Springer. Also, by winning, Saucy says, yes, we are winning here and there.
And by winning, I win here and I win there. Now what?
What was Papa Fox saying? He didn't even watch the game, dude. He was napping for most of it. He was very tired. He had a long day today. So my dad, not really into the game, but I'm pretty sure he saw the final score when I came out here to do the game. Jay says Reed Detmer is going to get sent down again. Nope, he's too valuable. I mean, literally, there's nothing for him to learn down there. He's got to learn or fix whatever problems up at the major league level. Joe says, give me 2 Deos for 2 Angel wins, but by far, the Deos came through tonight. And again, if you don't know what a Deo is, I don't know either, but the Angels just sure as hell love to play it over and over. Even my dad's like, that came up in his, that song came up in his, when he used to listen to K-Earth, when he used to play 50s and 60s music. And yeah, I mean, even he doesn't understand why they play it at the games. Let's see. Also, Tyler also says first series win since the Giants welcomed the Locked On post game. Also, how fitting. Let's see. First series win against the Giants. Also, a walk-off like this. Useless Trucker says 7777 Beach Boulevard for the Rockin' Brews. Appreciate that right there. Again, if you haven't heard yet, if you're just coming on now, Zach Neto is there for a meet and greet this Saturday before our tailgate. So you can come there at 10 o'clock in the morning and meet him. I'd say come a little earlier to line up because there's going to be a lot of people there. You can meet and greet with Zach Neto. He'll sign autographs. He'll be at the Rockin' Brews in Buena Park. And then you can come to our tailgate and have a good time at 2 o'clock at Bruheim, just behind Anaheim Stadium right there. So it's going to be a fun day on Saturday.
For me, and I'm feeling good.
Yep, there you go. No Springer Dinger tonight. Dude fell off right there. Grillmaster checking in with, if you go to Rockin' Brew, try the buffalo wing sauce, rockin' sauce, and chipotle aioli on your meat order. Highly recommended. So if anybody knows meat, it's the Grillmaster right there. Let's see what Rockin' Brew. It's the one in Buena Park, Cavito. It's going to be a nice little setup by OC Dugout. They're aligned with us, and Halo's in the infield, so he'll be there. And there'll be a meet and greet, sign autographs, buy cards. because that's what OC Dugout does. They buy, sell, and trade memorabilia, sports memorabilia, and he'll be down there autographing a whole mess of crap. And you can meet Zach Neto, the Angels' awesome shortstop, soon to be all-star, hopefully, shortstop. Baldwin says Neto in the front, Angels game in the back. There you go. Also, we won a series. Saucy says, is there a Heedy promo code for the OC Dugout Neto signing? No, but I will say if you go to Gabriel, who's the short guy, or you go over there to to Josh, you can also mention us, and they will hook it up right there. Or Brian, I'm sorry, Brian. You go to Brian and Gabriel, you can ask them and or just mention us, and they'll be nice to you. They'll do something for you. Angels, I can't say what because I don't know yet right now. So there you go. But you can meet him down there and or at least take pictures from afar. It'll be free to the public, but the only thing you have to pay for is like if you want to do like a specialty picture, I believe, and then like any kind of autographs. But you can get in there and take a picture from afar, dude. Like, and he won't be that far off from the restaurant because it's going to be before the restaurant opens up. So they're going to be like in the corner. So it'll be a nice little setup. I'll be down there a little bit early too. So there you go. Thank you for the seats. Winning. Angels suck. You're welcome, my man. Marty says, will Marsha be signing with Neto? I'm not sure who has the bigger fan base. At this point, it's a tie. Taylor Ward is a bum, Tamir 20 says. Mateo says, Soler hits the ball down the left field line. Paris scores. Neto right behind. Ball gets away. Here comes Shanoa. Angels win. Jorge Soler, 3-run double. Angels win. SRC checks in with Todd. What's the deal with the San Diego series next week? Lots of Halo fans in San Diego, including me. Will there be a Heedy meetup? Well, there is a good chance that James from the Around the League show, since he lives down there, will be at that Angels game. I will be down on Monday. I initially thought it was Wednesday, but it's Monday. So Monday we will be down there. So I guess I could post where I'm at. And if you guys want to meet up and have a good time or say hi, well, we can do that as well, because I've been to that stadium only 4 times in my life. I love that stadium, but I don't know the sections all that great. So again, maybe somewhere by the brick building in left field, we can meet up, or maybe behind home plate somewhere by the restaurant. So we'll see what's up. But if you guys want to come down and say hi, abso-fucking-lutely. Silent E says the strikeout record for this year is 16 versus the Stros. Oh, so I was 2 off. 16 strikeouts. A series win is great, but still got to see less reliance on the home run. But it's crazy what happens with men on base. Exactly. Preach. Those 2 solo home runs, had they not generated those runs late, obviously they lose straight up. So there you go. Gavin loves these nuts. Also, Mateo says Todd's computer is going to crash now. Marty says, Todd, where the Fuhrer perched 22.5 acres. No, I did not. Baldwin says, by the way, she was based on Georgia Frontiera. Yeah, she was, which was that character from that movie, Major League Frontiera. Nice to see us picking up a tad right now. Gerard says, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Guess the wife is getting dragged on Sunday for a Mother's Day fanny pack. Fuck! Yeah, just you not wear it. That would be a little scarier. I'm not too interested in that. But, hey, you might get a lot of hot dogs for that Sunday buffet. I bet you Toronto Blue Jay fans don't really care much about this series. Yeah, I mean, the Maple Leafs, hockey is always number one. Marcia loves nuts. Yes. Baldwin says, hi, Angels grandma. Leaf says, yeah, that's true, Grillmaster. Hockey comes before baseball. Mateo says, someone honk my honk. I predicted 100 win season this year. Wow. Also, Marty says the crowd looked to be about another 30,000, according to Terry Smith. How much Yankees tickets in Anaheim? Well, Matt, you can definitely check out the 714 tickets. You'll get the best prices over there. I might sell mine. And look, I usually give mine away if I'm not going to go to the game. I'll be honest with you, but I'll sell the Yankees and the Dodgers because let's be honest, you're going to get the most money for those tickets, dude. And I'll probably wind up still going to the games but sitting somewhere else. because I'll get some more free tickets. Silent E says, Detmers is the new Aaron Loop. Got my cheeks clenched every time he comes in. If he gets a little worse, he'll be approaching Suarez territory. Damn. Yes, Randy, he is smoking that ganja. Angel Sucks says the rally monkey worked again. George Springer is still a cheater. Crowd was yelling cheater. I love that. Courtney says we won. Yes, we did actually win. ROS says Kyron Paris low-key starting to swing that bat again. He does look a lot better. Randy says, I love how we're getting after 2 wins in a row, but what I want happens when they lose. I want to see what happens when they lose. Well, you know what happens when we lose. You know how we are. Wash said at his presser, don't jump back on the bandwagon now that we're so back. Dan said also, nearly forgot. Love me long time. Thanks for the tickets. My son and granddaughter saw the walk-off. That is so awesome. You're so very welcome.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
JM says, let's not forget about how many we had runners on corners and the bases juiced with 0 outs and couldn't do shit. Glad they pulled this honkish win out, though, tonight. I am, too. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, dude. Seriously. And we've seen this same song and dance for that stretch of 19 games where they were 4-15, just the inability to get that big hit. So does running down the West start tonight? It could. It just could. Isaac says, does Detmers even talk? Like, bro, tell us what's wrong with you. That guy is tight-lipped, bro. I'm telling you. Is his lips stitched together? That's what I want to know. You should do a giveaway. If not, LOL. Maybe, Matt. Maybe. Mateos, he says, how do you think they will do against Bassett tomorrow? I actually called a loss on the podcast. I actually think that, Bassett, career-wise in 10 games against the Angels between Oakland and Toronto, he's got a record of 7-1. So, and an ERA of something under 3. So Bassett, for whatever reason, doesn't matter what his season is doing, but when he faces the Angels, he's licking his chops. And I think that's most pitchers nowadays, but especially him. Tomorrow's pitching matchup, we got that Soriano versus Bassett. Bassett's got that 2.95 ERA. Also, Baldwin says, you love doing this long time. Yes, I love that English. And if that's a K-Rock reference, good on you, Baldwin. Because I think that's what Kevin said on Kevin and Bean. I used to love that show, man. I used to love that show. But then it progressively got worse towards the end. And then, show K-Rock is just, I haven't listened to terrestrial radio since it was probably the last show they did. So, that's how old I am. I grew up with those guys. I'm honking my honk right in front of Starbucks right now. Put that thing away. Tyler says, is Detmers our new head case to replace Sandoval? At this point, possibly. Courtney says, Wash pulled Renifo out for not knowing the outs and consistently gives Adele a chance when he kicks, drops the ball in the outfield. Makes sense. And that's coming from a softball player who didn't make too many errors. And she knows her shit, and she's been calling Adele out for a while, but it's warranted. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You can tell that this dude needs work. And yes, we wanted him to succeed. Courtney's wanted him to succeed. As much as she came off critiquing him, she's wanted him to be good. And so have we, but it's like that with Ward, like I get tired of the noodle arm. I get tired of the strikeouts. At some point, these guys got to mature and man up and play better and learn from their mistakes and not repeat them. That's what's driving Courtney and all of us up, insane. Mateo says, I spritzed on my dinner and we won. Jack Lee says, living in Mariners country is not fun, but endings like this make it tolerable. No Renifo is the fugitive. Randy says, my bad, benching Renifo for one boneheaded move, but letting ice cold Ward keep stinking it up in the most in the biggest spots too, 3rd and 4th in the lineup. They're all, just keep sending them out there. Tamir 20 says, I think Renifo's mistake wasn't a mistake. I think he did that because he was frustrated on losing the lead. Maybe. Baldwin says he forged his wife's signature. Squirrely Dad says, hi, Todd. Thanks for the tickets tonight. Great comeback. I'm not going Roger Lodge because we need to make more moves. Detmers is toast. I got it. And you're very welcome. Grillmaster says, I got a master boner. Let's see. Wait, what? Hey, howdy, hey says the Angels drink Cleveland water. Sorry. Joe Adele breakdown soon, San Diego says. Also, Saucy says, when is Stevenson going to play for the club? We're looking July. July is when he should be ready to go. Mateo says, I didn't watch the end of the game because I was watching Survivor and Amazing Race. Well, that's bad when you got baseball behind that. Come me, Tallyman, Makada. Don Emmett says, Chris Bassett always gives us trouble. I hope we finally score some runs against him. Marty also says the answer to win the tickets is yummy tasting nut. Yeah, you know what? I should have did that. That's, Marty, I should have read that comment way earlier because, yeah, you could have been, you could email me for those tickets. You can request the number of tickets, but if you don't repeat this dude how he loves to just give you his resume first before he tells you how much he loves nuts in his mouth.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
See, if you did how about a yummy tasting nut, I think that would have, I might have given you all 10 tickets. Baldwin says rocket sauce on your meat. Jack Black loves the rocket sauce. Robert says, man, Todd making short jokes. Mateo says, Todd, the main reason I'm coming down to Anaheim, LA area is because of my family's having a Memorial Day party. So I invited myself. Well, then come on down. Todd, let's hit Barely and Mash before the game in San Diego. Hell yeah, Robert. Let's hook something up there for that Monday game. Tyler says, is San Diego going to be a bloodbath for the Halos? It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened. They're playing good against bad teams right now, at least with these two. So we'll see what happens, but stranger things can happen. I'm just taking it one game at a time, man. And I'm hoping they can play with some fight against the Dodgers as well. Hitman says, imagine having a podcast trying to spin the Angels in a good light. Well, it's easier when they win, but when they're bad, we've been doing this podcast for 4 years. So there hasn't been too much good to talk about. Randy says, man, I'm off Mondays too. Todd, I'll be down in San Diego too for Monday night's game. Let's link up. Hell yeah, Tamir 20. Let's do it. It seems like a lot of you guys are doing that. So if you want to do that and go down there and have a good time, meet up, we will definitely do something down there and have a good time. If we're not at the game, having some drinks and some food and talking some shit, maybe we go and walk ourselves over to the downtown San Diego area. So there's a lot to do down there too. Balls and myopic. Boy, that's a favorite word of Tyler's, man. He always calls me out for myopic. I think I was really creative the way I used myopic last year, and I'm pretty sure he's trolling me because I used it wrong on most occasions. So that's why.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Myopic. Let's see. Also, Baldwin says, running down the West, Tom Petty's ghost will help us. Tom Petty's great effing show. Appreciate you, Baldwin. SRC says, Todd, you're going to be surprised by how many Angels will be at Petco Park. People aren't scared of going there compared to when the Angels play at Dodger Stadium. I went to the Angels Dodgers in the what is it, mid 2000s now. And it was like 40%, and it was kind of rough. It was like sort of going to a Rams Raiders game back in the day. So it was pretty intense, but you're right. San Diego fans, I think, can appreciate the Angels, and we appreciate them. Their fans are really cool. I would say the only other fan base that's as cool as the Padres are the Giants. I've never had a problem with a Giants fan, whether going to see a game up in Frisco or here. And then the same thing with the Padres. I haven't gone in the last 2 years, but I went about 3 years ago down to Petco, and I love that stadium, by the way, best stadium in the league, or at least in the West Coast. And I went down there and caught a game, and they couldn't have been any cooler, And I went on a game on a day where the Angels weren't playing the Padres, and I forget who they were playing. And I had my Angels jersey on. My friend had a Dodgers, and he was getting shit from the same fans that were coming over there, high-fiving me and saying and giving me daps and being like, hey, what's up, man? Angels fan in the house. And they'd be like, fuck your friend. I was like, yeah, my people. I love that. Grillmaster says I spritzed. No, we don't care about that. Kenta Maeda got released by the Tigers today. That could be a guy we take a look at. I never had any hope for Adele. I knew he'd never be good. Randy did call it since the beginning. Let's see. Also, Silent E says there's a lot of positives about tonight's win for everyone. The team got to have a fun win. We finally get happy, and Gavin gets a yummy tasting nut. Balls, and wonderful pistachios. Courtney says, still concerned about the fact that we had runners on third and second, no outs, and couldn't score or make productive outs. That is just elementary baseball, Courtney, and the fact that we cannot get that going is really, really pathetic right now. I will put that. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's get a quick, we can get a couple people on here if they want. I'll post the link in here if you guys want to jump on. Tyler says 0 contact right there with runners is a sign of a terrible team. Hayes says yummy tasting nuts had a 24-minute postcast. The fuck with it on a walk-off night. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we've had 11-0 blowouts go an hour and a half on this show. So Todd, you have the San Diego sound bites. No, I don't have those right now. Courtney says, just want to point out the beautifully executed bunts and contact hitting by the Blue Jays. Amazing what small ball can do, right? I do. I do appreciate when any team does that, Courtney. Sny Guy says, have you heard the haunted stadium theory? I have heard of the one over there in Arizona, Tempe, but not really over here in Anaheim as much. Baldwin says, yes, closed big was a Thunderdome during those fans, or closed Thunderdome was Rams-Raiders games. They were. Tyler says, Halos might get nervous at Petco, not used to seeing that many fans in the seats, and it will be packed. Failing with men on base on Thor and complaining about it. I did skip your comments, Grillmaster, because they weren't that good. Those jokes are bad. Don says, yeah, it's all love for the Padres and their fans. They're hella cool. I wish them well as long as it's not against us. 100%, Don. Real quick, Big Hammer, how you doing?
Good. Just a lot of stuff going on in my life right now.
Okay, well, try to let us know in a fast pace what is going on, my friend.
My parents are just getting a divorce, and I don't know. It's just been a really rough couple of days because my dad was down here and now my mom's back, and so they're like splitting time between us now.
Yeah. So how many siblings you got?
Just my younger sister and me.
Fuck, dude, I'm so sorry to hear about that, man. Like, look, I was gonna come on here and like, you know how you usually call up and you're talking about possibly getting laid. I mean, you're acting like what's his name? What's that movie? I'm blanking on anything. Anyway, you're like the stereotypical teenage kid trying to get some and drink at the same time. And then you come on there and hit us up with it. There you go, McLovin. You're like our resident McLovin. And then dude, I'm so sorry, dude. That's real talk, man. That's difficult, bro.
Yeah. But get this, last prom this weekend, and I'm having the after party, so tons of people at my house, and I'm hoping there's one lucky lady on my last prom. Take me to my room.
I think what can work for you, Big 20, is plenty of protection, but double wrap. Go with the Shirley Temples, and that always you know how that always works. Just Shirley.
Yeah. Just work their way to their hearts by getting them Shirley Temples and what drink they like, the ladies. So.
Do you think we can make you feel better by having a tailgate down there during your prom? You know, the prom after party. We'll talk baseball. We'll come down there and we'll play some 90s music or 2000s music.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. But I got DJ. I got that covered. My friend's DJing. He's already like, yeah, I'll DJ your party, and I'm like, bet. So by this generation's meaning of DJing, that means you're gonna put your iPhone on the charger that connects the USB to the speakers. No, he hasn't like a whole DJ set, and like he's actually gonna DJ, and like he'll play like house music or something. It'll be sick.
Well, Hayes has a good point. The Diddy party, you guys gonna be all in white?
Dude, that's my whole entire outfit this weekend, bro. I got a white suit, man. You guys guessed it. I have a white suit I'm wearing. I got white shoes. Like I got my new Nike shoes. Like it's gonna be, dude. I can't wait to post it. Like you guys are gonna freak out.
The only thing better is if you had a cane and some gator shoes. That would have been awesome. Or Crocs to go with that white suit. That would have been awesome.
I just have my Nike shoes that I just got, and like, dude, it's my last prom. I gotta look flashy for all the ladies. Like, it's gonna be. You guys are gonna lose your minds when you see it on Instagram. You're gonna be like, damn, he went all out on his last prom in his suit.
Well, that's good. Well, you get a chance, send me that picture. I'll post it.
You'll see it probably on my Instagram, probably the day of prom, like right before the dance. I'll post it probably. So just look out on Instagram or something. That day.
Okay.
Yeah.
This night guy says wearing a hoppy jersey. So
yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, you keep your head up, man.
Yeah, I will, but hopefully we win tomorrow night because I haven't been coming on because when they lose, I just, it sucks. But I've been, the last 2 times when I watched, they walked it off. So hopefully we sweep finally tomorrow and we get a sweep tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought your bad news was going to be you losing another surf contest. But
I had a surf contest this past weekend, and I actually almost made a heat, but I overcooked my second turn on the last wave. But it's all good because I got $50 out of the fun an expression session. So because I was the happiest in the water at that time. So it's all good. I made some money.
You're the happy. So you got an award for being happy.
Yep, for being the happiest guy.
I pissed myself. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm super happy. I'm just because my friend made it to the final, so it was a good day for my friend. So
well, that's good. At least you're not selfish. You're unselfish. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, man. Stay up, dude.
Call you tomorrow if we win. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's big 20 right there. Gooby is so cringe. Let's see. Baldwin says the gnar you didn't shred is the gnar. You'll never get back, Hammer. I know we had some sound bites for him. Where did those go? Where is it? We had those surfing ones from that movie that you guys are naming right there. Where the hell did it go? Where it's like, I know that dude. Oh yeah.
Oh, gnarly.
There you go. Fast Times.
I know that dude.
Also, an award for happy sounds like a participation trophy. See, that's a good comment right there. Al says, light that baby up over there. 20 seconds or 20 sounds like he went to a Diddy party. Big 20 is the Brett Phillips of this group, $1 million personality. There you go. Also, Demetrius says, I wish I lived in the OC so I can go to more games. Fuck. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. And especially after a game like this, that's 2 walk-offs that were great. You know, as we sum this one up tonight, it was so awesome to see a walk-off double down the line, runners coming around to score. Oh, shit. We got Courtney real quick. Hold on. Courtney, how you doing?
Oh, my goodness. Hi, guys. You pieces of trash.
There you go. Haven't heard that in a while.
Right? Todd, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with this team. But all I know is that I've been to more Petco and Padres games than I have Angels games this season.
Wow.
I know.
Are you still in the IE or are you further south?
Nope, I'm still in the IE. It's just I don't enjoy going to Angels games anymore, and it makes me so sad. And the funniest thing has happened to me within the last year. My son or my stepson, his favorite player is Joe Adell. Do you know the pain that it caused me to buy a Joe Adell t-shirt for my son?
Did you break a mirror or did you piss off somebody? Did you steal some holy water from the church? I mean, what happened? I mean, that sounds like some karma.
It really was. And it's hilarious because my son, this is his 4th year playing Little League now, and he plays in right field. And I see him kick the ball just like Joe Adell. And I'm like, oh, well, he's just copying his favorite player.
Well, you're gonna know for sure when he misses the cutoff man.
Oh, completely, because he has a noodle arm just like Taylor Ward. So I'm getting the best of both worlds with my son.
So you're the mom in the stands, like just like putting the book in her face or covering her face, like doing the face palm, right?
I've completely turned into Bob Uecker when it comes to Major League. Like, I show up to this kid's game drunk, we're pre-gaming, and I have my own commentary in the outfield now. And it's
Oh,
fantastic.
nice. That's well, at least you're keeping yourself on your toes, right? If your son can't.
Yes, completely, definitely. But it is so good to see you guys growing and expanding with the podcast. I still listen, I still full on support you guys. And, I think you guys are doing great as the podcast and everything that you guys are doing. So thank you.
Oh, we thank you for that. And you know what? Anytime you want to come on, you're always welcome. And if you ever free up some time, because you are a busy woman, you're doing some big things from right here too. So keep it up. And like I said, if you want to come on anytime, because you always bring the heat when you come on here for sure.
We always have to bring the heat. I'm still feisty, I swear. Because even this coming weekend, so me and Nick, we are going out to Arizona because it is the only way we can afford to go to a Dodgers game for him. So I'm going to have to suck that up, and we're going to go out to Arizona for the Dodgers and Diamondback series.
Okay.
But probably after that, I can probably squeeze in an episode, and make my little appearance for my other pieces of trash that listen.
There you go. It's so yeah, like look, either let me or Fernando know, and we'll more than make that happen for sure.
Bet. I am so excited. But
when you could tear yourself away from Padres Stadium for just a minute, if you want to come up to one of our tailgates, beers on us, or you want to meet up at the game, we could do something like we did last time, when you bring Nick, and we'll have some other Halos in the infield guys, because it's kind of hard to judge when Fernando's going to be back over here, but
I know. I feel like I just missed him. And then me and Nick actually went to Petco, I think the day after Fernando did. And I was like, man, I felt so shitty. But no, definitely we'll have to bring Nick out. And I know our work schedules are a little bit crazy. But we will definitely try to make it to a tailgate or some sort of event sometime soon.
All right, sounds good, Courtney. It's good to hear your voice again, because it's clear as day on here. We got better equipment too. It's not like when you were on the podcast before and we had some pretty shitty equipment. It's much better
now. Y'all fancy now. Y'all so fancy. I'm so proud.
Thank you.
No, I will definitely come back for an episode or two. And yeah, we could definitely work out the details later. But have a good night, Todd. I'll get off because I'm sure somebody wants to call.
You got it, Courtney. Appreciate it. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. There's Courtney right there, and now open it up for Angels Suck. Obviously, Stir Boogie. How you doing, my man?
Let's go. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Todd?
I'm excellent tonight, man. I mean, again, a win's a win, man. And especially when you get one like that, a nice walk-off. I mean,
yeah,
mwah, beautiful.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for the tickets, bro. For real. That came in clutch for sure. But that was so fun. Me and my dad have been to like 4 games this season already.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of them that we went to together, they lost. So tonight was his first time like getting a dub or seeing a W. And it couldn't have been a better night to watch a win for sure. That was awesome. For real.
Yeah, that's what we need more. I mean, it's unfortunate that we had, the pitching blow up the way it did with Detmers, because maybe we don't need that, heroic comeback.
Yeah.
But it was still awesome to get. But, I hope that Ron gets it through his blinders that, okay, maybe it's not good to put Detmers out there in a pressure situation. Let's just save him for when we're up 4 or down 4 and go from there. And if he continues to work that ERA back down again, then maybe with one of these starters that maybe struggle or, God forbid, get hurt, we could just insert him in there and be confident that he's back to where what he's used to. Because obviously coming out of the bullpen, bro, as well as I do, when is the last time that this guy was in the bullpen and we were like, okay, cool. That's his spot. His spot is a starter, dude. and he's just got to get that mojo back. However, he's got to get it.
You don't think it's time to DFA him? Like send him down?
You know, that's a tough one because he was your former first round pick, and it would be very tough to do that. I know this organization really thinks with its heart more than it does with its head. So, yeah, there's nothing more for him to learn, dude. And I think you're right. That would be the only other step. Sending him down would just not be smart.
Yeah, just release him almost, you know. It's getting sad because I think we all felt the exact same way. It was like, all right, well, Detmers is coming in. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then he didn't get an out again, dude. I think he's gotten in his last 3 outings. I think he's gotten 1 out.
Yeah, 1 out. He surrendered something. He's responsible for something like I want to say 14 runs with only getting 1 out.
Dude, that's how do you not get sent down for that? How do you not get sent down for that?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty crazy, dude. Because again, like this is a guy who we thought Detmers would make, would be in this rotation forever. I mean, think about it, guys. Like 3 years ago, Stir Boogie, we had, Griffin Canning before his injuries, Patrick Sandoval before his injuries, coming off the Team Mexico, and Reed Detmers, and we felt going into the season that's a pretty decent rotation. Maybe Silseth at the back end, but you had like 3. We thought this was going to be a rotation that might stick around for a few years, but none of them came and pitched anywhere good, and they were all inconsistent and all injury prone.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
honestly, we have been hit by injuries, so it's hard to send somebody down that you're seeing a lot of value in,
But you know what drives me nuts, and I'll just see if you think the same. There's been times where you look at Detmers and he looks like he could beat your ass from the mound. Like he's got that like locked in look.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to anybody leaving the mound. He walks into the dugout, people just stay away from him. And it's not even with a no-hitter. It's just he doesn't talk to people. And then when he's deer in the headlights, he looks scared. And man, you've played baseball. I played baseball. You can pick up when a pitcher's just shaky.
Yeah, and you feed off that for sure. He looks emotional, and it's his body language too. Like you can, like as soon as he came in, the energy in the stadium was just like, oh fuck, dude. Like, we can't do this right now. Like, might as well. I even tweeted out, I was like, might as well forfeit the game now. I guess we're giving up now, Ron. And he gave up, bro. He gave up. I think it was only 1 run, and then there was 2 runners on base, and we just started booing everybody. I was like, bro, bro, and people started booing, and when the people started booing, I was just like, run, get him, run, no, run. And he went and got him. Like, I'll give Ron credit. He definitely pulled him out as soon as he needed to. Like, we did not need to see anything more. I'll give him credit for pulling him out. I won't give him credit for getting him in. I don't know who else we would have pulled in. I think we could have just went with Zephyr to begin with.
Yeah, you could have went with Brock. You could have went with Zephyr. You could have went with a new kid too. I mean, anything at this point. I don't think you go back to a guy who's been failing. The Christian over there on TikTok says Detmers is this year's Suarez, but and Tony C also says unfortunately Reed has no options left, so that could be a reason why we're holding on to him too. Because I mean, look, as well as I know, there's probably someone that how the Mets picked up on Canning and he's better. Sandoval will pitch better in Boston once he finally clears medical in a few months here, and then I guarantee you, bro, Detmers could sign with Colorado, and he would pitch to like a 2 ERA.
Ain't that the truth, though? For real. Yeah, just bring him in no pressure situations. Not when it's tied.
Yeah, not when it's tied at all, man. I mean, I don't even want him in there at a 0-0 game, man. In the first inning, because I don't know, man. Until we see that mojo back, if it ever comes back, I mean, he could be one, because there's a lot of these guys, bro, that we could be seeing them in the Angels gear for the last time. Adele's contract's coming up. They could just let him leave. Detmers would probably be one that we get rid of. Anderson would be one. So this team could look completely different. What's that?
You think they're going to let go of Anderson?
Well, I mean, I don't think he'll be an Angel regardless, whether we hold on to him because this is his last year. So I'm thinking if the Angels are smart, they'll trade him at the deadline. If not, he walks. And there's no way he's signing back with the Angels.
He's like our ace right now, bro.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. He's been super solid so far.
That's fucked. So he's not going to damn, yeah, you're right. He's probably not going to re-sign with us.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's sad. Hey, speaking of sending people down, what about Ward, bro? You really think we can't trade him? We can't send him down? Like, it's really sad watching him go up and just look at strike three, whiff at strike three. I don't know. It's just sad swinging with one arm to just strike out.
Yeah, I mean he's flailing. Literally the what it means to flail at a ball. He does that every at bat, and it's just the one or two that he gets into that you're like, hey, hit a home run. But it's the 10 or 12 at bats in between that home run. But the thing that'll make you mad, that makes me mad, is that in the off season, and I would say it was about 3 or 4 weeks before spring training. I think it was when the pitchers were about ready to report. I'd seen a couple tweets, and then I saw it on ESPN that the Pirates were talking to the Angels about Ward, and the Pirates they actually wound up offering him 3 different deals to acquire Ward. Wow. And I've always thought, man, the teams like the Pirates, they always have a stacked minor league system. So I mean, you could have finagled a couple players for Ward. Having because he's signed through next year, so he's a 2-year guy, so it could have gotten you one major league ready player, and it could have got you a decent prospect and one that possibly could be. So you could have gotten 3 players out of him if you traded him before the season, and his stock was high coming off of last year's numbers, and they see something in him. It's like, damn, dude, like he could have been a Pirate. We could have got something. We could have picked up a free agent to fill Ward's spot, and then had those 3 minor leaguers to bolster a crappy minor league system. But the Angels didn't pull that trigger, man, obviously.
And now we're suffering for it, for real. For real. Hector Neris, I don't know who decided to pick him up, but he was lights out last night.
Yeah, and I think they might have DFA'd him, I think.
What?
Yeah,
the Braves.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see, but there are. I mean, look, there's other pitchers we could have got that are more, proven that the Angels just passed on. So I wish they would have helped build that bullpen, because the games wouldn't get to this point as they are right now, how they're getting out of hand when the starter's done such a good job. So we'll see, man. I mean, they have to do some retooling, but my thing is, bro, if we can just stay close to 500, if we can get back to around 500, a game or 2 underneath, I'm okay with that.
That's fucked up, dude. Like, because I go to these games, I'm like, nah, we can turn it around. We're gonna get like a 6-game winning streak, go above 500, and then like run for the West. We can take that to the bank and deposit it. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucked up. I don't know why I live with this hope, but it's pretty fucked up. I guess it's delusional.
Well, I think over the years, again, we had that nice little run, and we drank a lot of hopium, and the hopium is still being peddled at Angel Stadium, and we're still trying, it's the Coors. but I never saw a better Rally Monkey song than I did the other night, where it showed the guy from, I think it was Into the Gray or that Wolf movie, and he's like, come on, do something. And he's telling the monkey that monkey's just swinging on this rope. And I'm like, dude, that sounds just like if he's talking to the Angels offense. Come on, do something.
Fucking do something, dude. Yeah, when you titled the podcast last night, the fucking Rally Monkey worked. Yeah. Fuck, do something. Oh, I felt that in my core, bro. For real. And the Rally Monkey came through tonight. I've been a strong advocate of like retiring that fucking rally monkey, bro. It's
Me
it's
too.
gotten to the point where it's like there's literally 3,000 people here. There was a bunch of fucking people leaving in the bottom of the eighth and the top of the eighth, and I'm just like, dude, when it got 4-1, people start leaving, and then even when it was 4-2, after Paris hit that home run, people start leaving because we didn't come through after the home run. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why'd you even come out? This is what you pay for. You pay for the bottom of the ninth. Like,
Oh, yeah.
stay here. Like, you're not beating the traffic. There's nobody to beat. You know?
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, like look what happened. I was in attendance that night after Skaggs, when they had the first game, and then they throw the combined no hitter.
Yeah,
we were sitting, I think in 4-something, like 417 or something, right? And it was a pretty big crowd, and we had a no hitter, obviously, and it was the 7th inning, like bottom of the 7th, after they did the take me out to the ball game.
Yeah.
And so many fans got up and were leaving. And I remember telling a couple, I'm like, you do see the score, right? Like I didn't want to say like the actual no hitter, but I was like, 0. I'm trying to tell them, like, where are you going? And then sure enough, they missed a no hitter. And then one of the most emotional games I've ever been to, dude.
For real. Yeah.
Man. When they put those jerseys on the mound, dude, I like the guy that was sitting next to me. I didn't know him from anything. We were all hugging and crying. So,
yeah, I feel that, bro. I feel that. Yeah. There's too many fucking nights where it's like that. It's like that. That's what Angels baseball, bro. For real.
Yep.
We love it. We love it. Can't get it anywhere else.
By the way, I don't know if you know Swilly Sports, but she got the job with John Boy.
Yeah, bro. I saw her today.
Oh, you did?
On not in person, but on John Boy.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Andrew says that's been the most positive thing that happened in the Angels in 11 years.
Bro, she brought up Artie Moreno. I was like, what? Hell yeah, we're getting some national attention on John Boy there, for real,
Which
sure.
we never really did, unless something happened to Trout or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, they're still talking about him on the IL.
Yeah, and then Dylan real quick says, when is Joyce coming back? I don't know when that dude's coming back, but I said the worst thing the other night, and I'm standing by it, which I think he's due for a TJ, and we might miss him for a year and a half, and he'll lose about 4 miles per hour off of that fastball, but he'll still be pitching about 100 to 101 when he gets back. But I just think his arm can't sustain whatever he's put it through already, and he'll never pitch back to back until he gets that surgery, and it sucks. But damn it, I think it's gonna wind up happening. Else he'll pitch for like a month, and then he'll get the inflammation again, and then there you go.
He's gone then, huh? He's not coming back this season, probably.
No, if he gets a TJ, he'll miss about a year and a half. Damn. So yeah, it's an 18-month total thing. And then what sucks is the first 6 months you're back, so you really lose about 2.5 seasons. It takes you a half season, because that's why I think what's his name for the Dodgers, and he went to the Red Sox, the starter, Buehler.
Yeah.
He had the TJ, missed all of last year, and then he went to, I think he did the rehab last year, or the year before last he had the TJ, and then last year he came back late and wasn't all himself, but he got the job done obviously for the Dodgers, and then he got himself the new contract with Boston. So I think Joyce has got that in his future.
Fuck. And then I feel like with Trout, bro, with him on the IL, I don't even think they release all the facts. Like, I think they just want fans on the edge of their seat, like that he can come back any day now.
Yeah, that's the thing with him too. They have not given us any kind of update on that either. So who knows? I mean, it went from like, scar tissue, and all of a sudden it's a bone bruise. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there.
We do not know.
Oh yeah. By the way, you're welcome, Joe, right there for the tickets.
Bro, shout out the Heedy podcast for the tickets tonight. For real. That was dope.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, my man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if there's anybody else trying to come in here, man, but I can talk to you all night, every night. This is this shit's dope. Go fucking Halos, and let's see if they get it tomorrow night, bro. I'm feeling hopeful. I think they pull through for a 6-game winning streak for the rest of the weekend.
Well, let's see, man. I would love that, dude, for real. So we'll see what happens, man. Because
Blue Jays are losing it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's we have this or you have this podcast every night. I feel part of it. You have this podcast every night, and you're like, another game another loss that could have been a win. I feel like that's the Blue Jays right now, bro. Like, they could have won last night. They could have won tonight.
Yeah, and their wins or their losses are a lot like this one, where they're not like where we sometimes get shut out or we score 1 or 2 runs. They've been in the lead in a lot of these games, and they just haven't been able to close the door. So, yeah, I guess we're getting them at the right time, because usually Toronto is one of those teams that, although we're not a division team, man, they usually take us to the woodshed. So it's nice to beat them a few times here.
For sure. It's because of George Springer, bro. The ball don't lie. Fuck
Yeah.
him. For real.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
well, thank you for having me, bro. As always, man. This shit's a blast. I can stay here all night. But I don't, fucking cheers to the Coors, and I'll see you tomorrow night if you're there, or if not, fucking the next time you're there, I'll come by, say what's up.
For sure, man. You have a good night.
You too, bro.
There you go. That's Angel Suck on Twitter if you want to check him out, or X, whatever they call it right there. Yeah, this organization has no transparency whatsoever. That's an understatement right there. Also, user says, you think the Angels can sweep the Jays tomorrow? Dude, I mean, the pitching matchup doesn't look bad for tomorrow. On paper, because of, Bassett, you would think, and, the Blue Jays being torn up. Actually, I take that back. The lineup doesn't look that bad. The Angels could have an opportunity to score some runs, or at least to shut them down like they did tonight. And they've really shut down the Blue Jays all series. But the Blue Jays are due to break out, and that's what's scary. And then Bassett, again, 7-1 career against the Angels in 10 starts. And he's 2-2 this year with a 2.95 ERA, 40 hits in 39.2 innings. He's got 43 strikeouts. So he's given up a hit and a strikeout per inning. He's got low walk ratio at 7. And he's given up 4 home runs, but he's been very much around the strike zone, which is going to tempt the Angels to swing and miss a lot, which I'm scared of, because we have 14 strikeouts tonight. Soriano comes in 2-4, a hard luck loser his last outing. He's got a 3.83 ERA, a whip of 1.43. He's pitched 40 innings, given up 41 hits. He's got 31 strikeouts. The walks are kind of troubling. He's had a couple starts where he's given up multiple walks, which has hurt the Angels. He's got 16 walks so far in the season and only 3 strikeouts. So we will see what happens tomorrow. Let's see. Kelly Jansen should be ready to go tomorrow. Campero is day-to-day. And Joyce and Trout are still on the 10 and 15-day IL in between. So we'll see what happens with that moving forward. Again, the Angels improved to 15-20 right there. Taylor Ward, try not to strike out looking challenge level, impossible. Bassett does have a punching face right there. Your handman says, no mames way, we won pinchy way. Love it, handyman. A lot of you guys making me speak Spanish, which I am totally terrible at, and I apologize in advance and after the fact. So again, quick reminder, we're so back. Quick reminder again, I'll say it again, I'll repeat it tomorrow, and I'll check the emails for tickets, because I know I probably got some email requests for tickets. I got 10 tickets for tomorrow. If you guys haven't already, let me just check to make sure, because I got to give them away, because otherwise they're going to go unsold, and that kind of sucks. I'd rather have people go and have a good time. So let's see. I only got one person checking in for the tickets. So again, I'll put it out there. I thought you'd have more people asking for tickets, but maybe a Thursday night game's kind of hard to go to. Yeah, dude, that's the only one. That's crazy. Oh, there you go right there. I got, never mind. I got Eddie Perez and Joseph right there as well. Let's see. It's 2-5. Let's see. How many tickets do the Salvador want? Salvador, you got to let me know how many tickets you want, man. Because I got 5 left at those 2. Oh, he says, could I get 2? So I got 3 left. I got 3 tickets left. It's in the comments. I'll put right now. If you want to go right now to the game tomorrow, Jesus, message me, man. If you need 3 tickets, I got them for you. I will give you those 3 tickets, and you can go and have a good time tomorrow at the game, because I don't think I'm gonna make it. But I won't know for sure till tomorrow, and I'll still have the 2 tickets. But I have 10 tickets to give that away. So there you go. So Jesus, if you want those final 3, I got the other people took the 7. So we're good on that. And then again, if you want to hang out with us on Saturday, make your Saturday an Angels Saturday, especially if they win tomorrow and do a good showing on Friday or win on Friday. Saturday could be an all Angels day. It starts first off with
For me, and I'm feeling good.
Presented to you by OC Dugout and Halos in the Infield at Rockin' Brews Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 11:30. Come a little bit earlier to get in line to get autographs and pictures with Zach Neto. Zach Neto, your shortstop of the Anaheim Angels, will be there. And then after that, around 2 o'clock, we'll be over at Brewheim behind the stadium from 2 to 5. Likely things will get going around 3 o'clock because we always have stragglers, and then we always are doing the setup. So really 3 to 5, but if you want to come a little earlier, that's cool. And then we'll be having beers and having fun times, playing some games, and then have a few giveaways, talking Angels baseball, and then we're going to go right into the stadium and have a good time, hopefully watch the Angels beat the crap out of the Orioles. So it's been a long show, an hour and 35 minutes. Caught up with a few people we haven't talked to in a while. Loved talking to Courtney. Hope to see her soon, and all the other Angel fans down in San Diego on Monday. I'll be there for that game. I'll definitely be there for Saturday's game and Friday's game. Don't know about tomorrow yet. I won't know because it depends on work, and I won't know till the morning. So otherwise, it's going to be like a game time decision for me. I'm day to day, but I should be there on Saturday and Friday and Saturday, and possibly Sunday too. So we'll see. So your chance to let's see. Hayes says, "Can I get 1 ticket?" Email me, homie. Email me, because I tried to get those to you yesterday. It's Halos in the Infield podcast at yahoo.com. If you email me, I will send you that ticket, my man. So there you go. That's the show for tonight. The email is linked here in the comments somewhere, not too far back. So with that being said, everyone have a good rest of your evening, or what's left of it. 25 or 35 minutes till tomorrow, and we'll start this all over again afterwards, after hopefully another Angels win. Let's get the sweep tomorrow, everybody. Good night. Go Angels, baby.